Marietta Mehanni, and this week's muscle conditioning and pelvic floor safe tip is sitting on the ball and using one dumbbell, and we're going to do tricep extensions. So why is this pelvic floor safe? Well, firstly, we're in a position where our pelvic floor is well supported. Also, the pelvic floor, when we try and lift it up, we've got more kinesthetic awareness about lifting it up away from the ball, because there's almost a sensation that we can feel moving up and down away from the ball. So I really like using the ball and seated exercises on the ball from a pelvic floor perspective because of that awareness of moving up away from the ball and relaxing towards the ball, especially for people who really struggle with trying to identify where those muscles are. So we're going to use an anti-burst ball, really important you have a good quality ball, and I've got a mat out, and that's to ensure that my feet don't slide, especially if you're using a wooden floor or a tiled floor. It's really important you have a non-slip mat underneath your feet. So we're going to start by sitting directly up on top of the ball, dumbbell in the hand, so you're using just one dumbbell. Lift the elbows up high, bring the dumbbell down behind the head, straight up again. Behind the head, straight up again. Now, I'm just going to show it to you in two views. So side on, you want to make sure that people maintain a neutral spine. So what happens is that when people take their arms up, it's really easy to arch the back because you're on a ball, because you can move the ball. So ensure that participants have worked out, firstly, where their pelvis needs to be, and I like to rock forwards and back to begin with, and then find neutral. Memorize it, feel the imprint of those muscles in your mind, as far as like, okay, try and hold that position. Now lift the arms up, holding that position in your midsection. Now bring the arms down and up. Now when you're sitting on top of the ball like this, it's actually not that hard to maintain good posture. Yep, you've got your arms going all the way down behind the head and then fully extending above the head. So just to show you front on, yep, elbows in and all the way up. So you want to make sure that this is not happening, especially if you're an instructor and you're teaching this to classes or clients. That's a common error. You actually have to physically think about squeezing the elbows in towards the head as the dumbbell comes down. All right. So if you're thinking about pelvic floor, I'd suggest that you relax the pelvic floor and then lift the pelvic floor as the weight goes up. Relax the pelvic floor as it goes down. Lift the pelvic floor as it goes up. So thinking about the pelvic floor moving in the same direction as a dumbbell, it actually helps people with proprioception as far as getting a good lift and a relaxation. So that's where we'd start. But if you have clients, one, they're more comfortable with the ball or they want to progress the exercise, then what you do with your feet is really important. So starting by sitting tall up on the ball again, you walk your feet forwards. Now, if I walk my feet forwards, it's really important I keep my knees over my ankles and I don't roll back, because this will push me back into that slouch position. So knees directly over the ankles. Now this is where we might actually overly extend the spine. So really arch the back. So you've got to be careful that you keep your pelvis tucked under slightly. So I say knees over ankles, tuck your pelvis under slightly, just to overcompensate. And I've just got my pelvic floor lift up. Arms go up and now go down and up. And the reason why I do that is if I don't teach that, I end up with this excessive arching in the lower back. People might complain about lower back pain, or they'll start pushing back with their legs, right? So knees here, tilt the pelvis under, and now perform the same tricep extension behind the head. Keep the knees over the ankles, that's the hard part, and I'm actually getting quite a good abdominal workout. I know that doesn't sound right, but when you've got the posture in a position and there's just a little bit of a tilt, so we try and keep that spine neutral with the arms going up, this is quite a bit of work to maintain. I actually think that this is almost harder than doing a plank. So, you don't want to be holding it there for really lengthy periods of time, so you want to make sure the weight's reasonably enough, heavy enough that 8 to 12 repetitions is all you need to do. So arms up, coming in and out. And the same rules apply here with keeping the elbows close. Now if you want to make it more challenging, bring your feet closer together while you're in the same position. Make sure the pelvis is still tilted under. You want to make that harder, lift one leg up off the floor and then back up again. Just trying to keep the pelvis in that position. Yep. requires quite a bit of concentration, that's why I'm moving a lot slower. And then, if you want to work even harder, holding one leg up off the floor and performing the same activity. Oh, I really feel it now. Okay, just to try and hold that position with the pelvis rather than arching it all the way back, because the minute you don't feel it in your abdominals, that's what's happened. So you'll make sure the pelvis is tilted forwards, the knees are directly over the ankles, lifting one leg up off the floor, keeping the elbows in nice and tight. I usually do about 4 repetitions on one side and then 4 repetitions on the other. I might build up to 8, but that's about the maximum I would actually do because there's quite a lot of work that's happening. So cool little exercise, mainly because when you sing on the board, there's so much else going on. So I can do pelvic floor lifts, I have to work with stabilizing the muscles around the back, my abdominals have to engage, I've got a little bit of lower activity once I start taking feet up off the floor, all the time doing something like a tricep extension, which is working my upper body. I like using the Swiss ball because it gives that opportunity to work so many other muscles at the same time. And for this exercise, it certainly makes it a lot more interesting than the traditional standing up. And that's this week's muscle conditioning tip.